Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Osterman, along with Al Kaline. We welcome you to a big day of baseball at Tiger Stadium. It is an absolutely perfect afternoon. Blue skies overhead, a little bit of a breeze, 85 degrees, and we're going to see a lot of the past and present day baseball here this afternoon. This, of course, is the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball commemorating the 1971 All-Star Game, and we'll have 19 of those players that participated back in July of 1971 here at Tiger Stadium here again this afternoon. And of course, we'll have the division-leading Detroit Tigers, who are currently tied for first place with the Toronto Blue Jays, in action against the Seattle Mariners in the regularly scheduled game at 3 o'clock. But it's a big afternoon. A lot of lies have been told already today, and they will continue to be told throughout this afternoon in the dugout and then wherever these players adjourn to following the completion of this game. We have Al Kaline wired. He is one of the participants in the 1971 Heroes of Baseball renewal, and he is down on the field around the dugout somewhere. He is wired for sound, and we're going to find out what is going on down there throughout this afternoon. And there he is right now, number 6 himself. Al, welcome to this afternoon's telecast. He is about to be introduced, I guess, and the National League already has been introduced, and there's number 6 himself, a Hall of Famer, being greeted as usual with a resounding applause from those who have arrived early this afternoon to take in the action. And he is there greeted by some of his former teammates. Mickey Lolich is here, Bill Freehan is here, Fred Sherman is here, a lot of former Tigers. Duke Sims is here. Rusty Staub, who is in the food business and also a broadcaster now with the New York Mets, is also here, and he is going to be the manager of the National League All-Stars. So the hats are being taken off. The fans are standing here at Tiger Stadium as Ernie Harwell, the master of ceremonies, discusses what is forthcoming here at Tiger Stadium. This is the first year that Upper Deck has sponsored this BAT baseball.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, a very special treat. We've asked each of our heroes to autograph a special Upper Deck Heroes Incredible. And I'd like our honored guests to throw their personally autographed ball to you folks in the stands. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
A fitting memorial to those who have passed away, many of them with links to Detroit Tiger history. And then, as you heard Ernie state, autographed baseballs tossed into the stands, and there will be long-time souvenirs for those who arrived early this afternoon to witness the 1971 All-Stars, 19 of which have returned. There are others who also participate. Rusty Staub is going to be the manager of the National League team, and the American League team is going to be guided by George Scott, which is sort of interesting. George Scott was always one of my favorite interviews. You could walk into a clubhouse before or after a ball game, ask George one question, he'd give you 5 minutes of an answer. But then you'd take a look at that answer, and what he said, it was difficult to understand because he talked so fast. It was difficult, but he was a very cooperative man. We'll see how he operates as a manager this afternoon as far as laying down the strategy is concerned. In case you're not familiar with BAT, it's the letters signifying Baseball Assistance Team, and they will donate $10,000 to BAT, they being the Upper Deck Heroes, to the charity, and that takes care of ex-baseball players who have fallen on hard times. Well, Al Kaline is all wired up. He's down on the field. And, Al, I know there were a lot of lies told down there. Were you a participant or were you a listener?
No, I was a listener, Larry, and quite honestly, I'm very depressed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I found out I'm the oldest guy here.
I doubt that.
It is. That's the truth. I'm the oldest guy on the field, and I'm kind of depressed about that because it didn't seem like too many years ago I was one of the young guys, but that's the way things go. But, you know, it's a great array of talent down here, Larry, as you well know, and a lot of the 71 All-Star people are here, of course, headed by the great Reggie Jackson, and every time you'll see an All-Star game, you will see the tremendous home run by Reggie Jackson. Of course, Vida Blue, the winning pitcher in that game, and just a lot of people, a lot of great guys. They had a great banquet last night, and they're all looking forward to this, and it's for a great cause, Larry.
Indeed it is. I had an opportunity to talk with Bill Freehan a few moments ago, and I said, gee, you look like you could play. And he said, probably. He's catching this afternoon for the American League. But he said, if I look at my birth certificate, it still comes out a big 5-0. So he is in great shape, though, and he, I'm sure, could get a few pretty good rips up there right now. He's doing the catching, and Rusty Staub, of course, is the manager of this club, and looks like Rusty is participating a bit in the victuals that he serves at his downtown Manhattan restaurant.
Yeah, Rusty looks like he's been eating some of the ribs that he's so famous for. But our manager here, George Scott, is really into this game, and he's looked now positioning his players, make sure everybody's ready to go. And George, come over here. We got the manager of the ball club right here. George, great player for so many years with Boston, Milwaukee. What do you think about this All-Star team we have right now?
Only thing I can say, we have to win this game. We got to win this game because the last 3 games I played on, we lost, so we need to win.
Okay, and are you going to maneuver the guys around to make sure you have the guys in the right spot? Of course, Reggie going to play all day, the whole game?
I'm going to pull some of Sparky magic. I'm going to let everybody play what they want to play and do what they want to do.
All right.
I'm going to see that work and see we win this game.
I understand you came up with a great phrase, the tater. It wasn't the long ball, the home run, but you used to call it the tater, and that's how it got its name.
That's when the game was fun, Al. We used to, you know, nickname things, and it was long tater for me. It was short tater for single hitters. So, you know, we used to do that. They don't do that today.
Okay, George, take care. Good to see you. All right. Up to you, Larry.
Okay, Al. Vida Blue, who had that sensational year in 1971 when he was 24-8 with a brilliant 1.82 earned run average, will be the pitcher for the American League, at least as the starter. As you can see, he was traded from the A's to the Giants in 78 in a big deal. 7 players plus cash money. He won the Cy Young Award and the MVP award, both in 1971. It was one of those seasons that players dream of. Well, the 3 guys that he'll face to start the first will be Bobby Bonds, Felix Millan, and Willie Davis. Some big names of the past. Bobby Bonds, of course, played for the Giants, the Yankees, the Angels, the White Sox, Texas, Cleveland, the Cardinals, and the Cubs. He spent 14 seasons in the big leagues. His first major league hit, oddly enough, was a grand slam home run, the only player in the 20th century to accomplish that feat. The National League has positioned Ken McMullen at third, Leo Cardenas at short, and it's hit at McMullen. He throws it over to Blue for the relay, and they got Bonds. McMullen to Blue to Carlos May. Boy, that saves the arm, doesn't it, Kenny? Another look at it. It was hit pretty hard by Bobby Bonds, but McMullen got it over to Blue, and he sailed it on over to Carlos May, and Bonds is a gunner. Is this practiced, or is this just quick-wittedness? Al?
Manager here clapped his hands as if that was all arranged. That's the first time I've ever seen that one.
Felix Millan hits a fly ball to Don Buford in left. Well, we've seen some of those routines from the second baseman to the shortstop at first when the second baseman is falling away, but that might not be a bad idea.
I know some third basemen that ought to do that more often.
Be a little more accurate sometimes. Willie Davis bats. Invite a Blue threw him a big bender.
Willie Davis looked like he might have lost a couple pounds.
He looks great, doesn't he?
He really does.
A lot of these guys look in good shape. Some of them may have overextended themselves at the dining room table, however.
I think quite a few of them have done that. But overall, I think they look pretty good.
Davis pops it up. Cookie Rojas is going to take a chance, and he makes the catch, and Vida Blue gets him in order in the first inning. So no problem. And we'll go to the bottom of the first. There's no score.
Nice going, Ken.
Here's Al Kaline with the former Tiger catcher, Bill Freehan.
All right, we have the #1 man behind the plate, Bill Freehan. Hey, Bill, how's Vida throwing? Looks like you got good stuff.
Well, you know, we told these hitters that there's, you know, no walks, no strikeouts, but all of a sudden he threw Willie Davis a knuckleball, so Willie doesn't know to believe him right now. But I like that first play. You know, we hit the cutoff man well.
I know, and George Scott said he prearranged that, so a pretty good play. We ought to see more third basemen make that. You think you'll use that up at Michigan?
I don't know. It's a new technique, but, you know, sometimes these legends, not old-timers, that's a key thing. You know, develop a lot of things that the kids will emulate.
All right, Bill, you going to hit one out today or what? You look
out of the infield. Out of the infield.
Okay, all right. Take care of yourself. Don't get hurt. Okay, Larry.
Okay. Vida Blue got him in order. Now Doc Ellis will see what he can do against the American Leaguers.
DH in third, and I'm out of there.
Nice going.
Well, that's sort of an explanation what Al has in mind this afternoon. He's batting third. That's a normal spot for him. He is the designated hitter. That was not available to him in his day. Vida Blue got him in order. Doc Ellis had 6 consecutive seasons with 10 or more victories. He'll have behind him Ed Spezio at third, Don Kessinger at short, Felix Millan at second, Lee May at first. Outfield composed of Cesar Cedeno in left, Willie Davis in center, and Bobby Bonds in right field. And the catcher is Manny Sanguillen. Don Buford, you'll recall, played for the White Sox and the Orioles, spent 10 seasons in the big leagues. Was switched to the Orioles in '68 to the outfield and was part of 3 consecutive Oriole pennant winning teams. The pitch is hit to the right side and past Ellis. Millan picks it up and throws him out. Buford may have lost a step there, Al. He's not quite as quick on the base paths.
No, not quite. You know, he used to be one of the great runners in the American League. He has a bad knee, as you can see, limping off the field. And quite honestly, I think most of us had some problems one way or the other.
Now, you've got a bum shoulder. Now, you're going to still go out there and hack away. Is this going to bother your swing?
Yeah, I'm going to swing with one hand. I tried to take batting practice, and I couldn't swing, and I just don't want to hurt it any more than I have.
Yeah, I know you don't want to follow up your golf game,
Reggie. Hey, I got Reggie right here. You know, there's very few people in all the sports, and all you have to do is say their first name, and everybody knows who he is, and it's Reggie Jackson. Tell me about the All-Star game.
It was one of the greatest thrills I ever had in my life. Now, I remember I was the first pinch hitter, and I said, hey, they must want to get me out of the way because it was in the 3rd inning. But the thing that I did before the game was I ran around getting autographs from the stars.
Hey, let me go make my out real quick.
As usual, a big salute. Now we're going to find out a little bit about Doc Ellis. Tell us about it. It's all yours, Al. Tell us all about it.
I don't know what's going to happen here.
Who's that guy calling the strikes?
Low and away already. Going pretty good. I don't know whether I'm going to get around this guy or not with one arm.
Not bad. A little foul, but not bad.
I lost my earplug.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we'll wait for you.
There we go.
Pretty good shot down there. Almost picked off Lolich.
I got to get on for Reggie.
Okay.
Somehow.
By the left center. Davis is over. And Willie makes the
Another
catch.
OB. Another AB.
Not too bad. A solid shot fouled on the third base line. Not too bad, Al.
Well, at least I got it out of the infield.
You bet your boots. We're proud
I
of you.
didn't totally embarrass myself.
There's no score. We'll go to the second in a moment. Well, the National League will have a different pitcher now as we start the second. There's no score. Mike Cuellar. Will pitch for the American League as we start the second inning. Between innings, George Scott was trying to talk Al into playing another inning or so, but Al's got a bad shoulder, and he's been plagued by it for quite a long time, and it was a little bit of pain for him to even go out and participate in the one at-bat. That's what Cuellar has done. Well, Spark, I understand that you're on the headset down there, and you can hear me. What do you think of this congregation that we have here this afternoon? Could you manage this club? Not now, but when they were playing.
Well, you know what? Wouldn't it be something? I mean, you look at some of these guys, Larry, it's unbelievable that they still know what it's all about. You watch Cuellar right now, and I always said this about Michael, that I never seen any man that had as good a screwball as him. He had, to me, the greatest screwball I've ever seen. And you look at him throwing the ball just natural. He throws it now just like he did in the old days. He didn't throw real hard in those days, but he had that great screwball.
You know what amazes me every time I see these guys, and you see them more often than I do, but they never lose that competitive spirit. Doesn't make any difference how old or how good a shape or out of shape, they still have that competitive desire.
And have that look, I think, Larry, is the thing that's amazing to me. You watch them when they come in the clubhouse and their eyes light up. I don't care what you say, this game is a disease. And once you've been in it a long, long time, it becomes just a total disease. This ball might be out of the ballpark.
Well, he gave it a pretty good ride. That Cedeno and Don Buford made the catch.
I've watched Cedeno many years. I seen him break in when he was 19 years old at Houston. Harry Walker was managing the club, and he was 19, and there wasn't one thing he couldn't do. And I remember Leo DeRocher saying that he will be the next Willie Mays. I don't believe he ever became the next Willie Mays, but he was a great player.
Sure was.
And this guy I faced, about 9 years over in the National League, Manny Sanguillen, always smiling, always laughing, and could swing at anything 6 feet over his head or 6 feet in the ground.
You know, you're the master story twirler, or at least one of the masters. Are you overmatched when these guys get together down there, or can you participate?
No, I'm overmatched. They tell me that Reggie last night talked at their banquet, and they say that he was so funny that he imitated George Scott better than George Scott could imitate himself. So, oh, Manny, that's him again. He's cutting and slashing at all time.
Well, I'll tell you, Buford made a pretty good run at it.
It looks like he come up a little lame.
Yeah, he's got a bad wheel.
Willie didn't cover a lot of ground out there. Willie's grabbing a spot and kind of staying there.
Well, the National League is threatening here in the second. Lee May is at second base. Manny Sanguillen at first. Buford again. Not much help from Willie.
Well, it'd take a triple to score Lee. Right now, you have to have a triple.
Ed Spezial is the third baseman.
Eddie was with me at San Diego in 1969, the expansion club. He was our third baseman.
He played a lot of years in the shadow of Boyer down at St. Louis.
Yeah, we came over and we got him drafted from the Cardinals, and he played third for us. A good hitter. Ed was a a very good hitter and had a lot of pop in his back.
Hit him on the handle, but he clears Ken McMullen. We'll see if May can get around the corner. Nope. Nope. Whoa, look at where we got somebody trapped between second and third, but Sanguin gets back. Yeah, you're right. Think about a triple to score May.
Mo can't go that quick.
George Scott, the manager, all excited in there.
I'm a little worried here that they might have a big rally going on. And Don Kessinger's in pretty good shape.
Yes, he is. Hits it past Rusty Staub. Kessinger is the shortstop. Mike Cuellar in a bit of a jam. Bases loaded, one out.
That's that little screwball of his. There it is again.
Cookie Rojas, nice play. Cookie going far to his left.
That's a pretty good play right there. That's outstanding.
Lee May scores on the play.
Manny over here, Sanguin on third, looks like he's wore out. I think Manny's tired.
Ground ball into the hole, but Cardenas can't get to it. Sanguin will score, and Spezio will score. And now Doc Ellis is headed for third on the throw and trots in. I don't know if that's not Ellis.
That's Nate Colbert.
Colbert, former Tiger. They slipped a new one in us on there.
Now comes Bobby Bonds. I always said about Bobby, you could throw him 99 curveballs and just throw one fastball, and he's still there waiting for it.
National League has scored 3 runs here in the second. Bonds was victimized on a pretty nifty 5-3-1 putout in the first inning. He hit the ball at McMullen. He threw it over to Vida Blue, the pitcher, and Blue relayed it on to Carlos May. Didn't he? Off the wall, and Buford will pick it up. Colbert labors home, and Bobby Bonds has a double.
I thought that ball was out of here, Larry.
This man's in trouble here. Is he going to lose his job as a skipper, or are they going to stick with him throughout this game?
I think he'll be fired before the game's over.
Pitch is high. That's Felix Millan. Reggie, and the side is out. But the National League scores 4 times, and will take a 4-0 lead to the bottom of the second. You're watching the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball game, which is the preliminary to the regularly scheduled game featuring the Seattle Mariners and Detroit Tigers. That will begin at 3 o'clock here on the Tigers television network. Matching the first place Detroit Tigers. The Tigers currently tied for first with the Toronto Blue Jays, who are playing the New York Yankees again today, with Mel Stottlemyre scheduled to face Sanderson in the final game of that series at the Sky Dome. Reggie Jackson out for a little early camera time, waiting for the warm-up pitches to be completed. What a career he had. What a World Series he had. Every time it seems that he played in the World Series, he was the star, and as a result, the nickname Mr. October. He's got a new pitcher. That is Don Gullett, maybe? Yeah, it is. Doc Ellis pitched the first inning, and the American League was able to get the ball out of the infield only one time. He set them down in order. Swing by Reggie. Gullett pitched with the Reds and the Yankees. Cattle farmer now in Kentucky. 2 strikes to Reginald. Manny Sanguillen has moved down to first base for the National League. A tapper right back to Gullett. And there's 1 out of the second inning. Well, now one of the crowd favorites will step up, Willie Horton.
The Tigers' own, Detroit's own, Willie Horton.
Get a new pitcher, who as yet is unidentified. He has a number, but it doesn't match up with anything that we have, and that does not come as a big surprise in events such as this.
New pitcher, Jerry Johnson.
Jerry Johnson is the new pitcher. Reggie.
Yes, sir.
You're with us.
Yes.
We were looking forward to you getting the ball out of the infield, my man.
I would have liked to have seen something as well. I was a star in batting practice, but Donnie was throwing that looper blooper, and I couldn't catch up to it.
Well, we welcome you back. I think that home run that you hit here in the '71 All-Star game is the most shown home run in baseball history.
Well, that's nice. You know, to be honest with you, I was just fortunate to be on the All-Star team that year. I was an alternate for Tony Haliva, who was hitting .400 at the time. And when I came here, I was asked to pinch hit like in the third inning, and I said, hey, they must want to get rid of me. And I remember when I left home packing my bag, Sal Bando said, hey, don't strike out. And as soon as I got in the batter's box, it was a ball and 2 strikes. And I said, uh-oh. I choked up on the bat, and I ran into one, and I mean really ran into one.
You really did. Among all the home runs you hit, of course, there were others that had a whole lot more significance because they're game winners. But how does that rank among all the homers that you hit otherwise?
It's up there to the top, to be honest with you. Not the most important because it was an All-Star game home run, and of course it didn't count during the season. But the 3 home runs I hit in the World Series, I'd have to say is the one that really the ones that have the great meaning for me, and I'll never forget them, and just proud of them. But the All-Star game home run here did a lot for my career.
Reggie, the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball schedule is something that you guys take a lot of time for your regularly scheduled business to take time and come out and participate in this. And this is really a terrific cause that you guys are contributing to.
Well, Upper Deck is a fabulous company. I'm fortunate to be with them on a full-time basis and work for them and do their public relations, and I'm their sports consultant. But the contributions they make, $10,000 per game to go to the baseball assistance team to give to the needy baseball people. And whether you were a secretary or worked on a ground crew or were an ex-player, if you're just affiliated with the game of baseball in any way, shape, or form and have a need, then they will assist you, and that's nice.
Certainly is. Well, you, I know, are deeply involved with the Oakland Athletics right now, and on a semi-serious note, everybody said what happened to the A's. We know there are a lot of injuries. Can this club come back? There's still plenty of time.
There's plenty of time if you think about it in games as far as 38 games to be played. But really, when you take a hard look at it, if Minnesota plays 19-19 and we're 7 games back, that means we have to lose like 12 and win 20. We have to go 26-12 for a tie if they're 19-19. So we start to run out of time. It's not that you can't be 26-12, but you can run out of days, and all Minnesota has to do is just kind of bump along and play 500 because both teams, Chicago and Oakland, are 7 back. So it's going to take a Superman effort to catch it.
Reggie, there have been a lot of outstanding names come and go since you retired, and without putting you on the spot, you see a player of huge magnitude or the impact that a guy like you had during your era on the immediate horizon in today's game?
Well, I guess the player that comes to mind right away is, of course, Jose Canseco, who has a mountain of talent, tremendous size, and he's kind of, he's very charismatic and has that celebrityism that, you just happen to develop like a Michael Jordan, whatever have you. But he has the ability to hit 500 home runs and also make an impact for a ball club down the stretch. He hasn't quite done that yet. He has hit big home runs and driven in a ton of runs and gotten big magnitude. but he has not done it when it's counted, so that's the only thing that has evaded him. Other younger players on the horizon, of course, Bo Jackson has a world of talent but has not done it yet. But Frank Thomas right now with the White Sox is really going along well. He has a chance to be something super. And, of course, the kid in Atlanta, Dave Justice, if he can stay healthy, has a chance to be a special player as well.
Reggie, we appreciate your time. Congratulations on your efforts, and congratulations on your career, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Reggie Jackson, and we'll be back in just a moment on the Tigers Television Network. George Scott has joined us, and we told you about George. He's my man, and George, welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Your ball club is trailing here. What's happening? You got some new strategies for us here now?
We're a little weak.
A little weak?
Here. I may have to come up here and hit one out of here.
Well, I think everybody liked it. You got Sherman out there. You think he can slam the door on him now?
I hope so. We need to shut him down right now, 40-zip.
What occupies your time these days?
I'm unemployed. I need a job. You got one?
Well, we might be able to find something for you someplace. You're doing a pretty good job. Maybe you can do a little bit of play-by-play on here.
That's good. We'll take that.
And we'll check you out.
All right, but in the meantime, I'm going to keep my golf swing going.
Okay. How is the golf game coming?
It's coming along pretty good. I play with some pretty good people. Jim Rice. Jim Rice is a pretty good golf player.
I bet he is.
And he's teaching me to play the game.
How's the short irons coming for you?
The short irons?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you about it later on.
Okay. Willie Davis hits a little pop-up to Cookie Rojas, who had it and then dropped it. We're going to have to... Now, you were one of the outstanding defensive players in the game in all of baseball history. Did that come naturally to you, or was it a lot of work to develop those skills?
No, nothing came easy to me. I had to work at everything. I was one of those guys that I worked hard. I took 300-400 ground balls a day, man. I had to improve as a player. If I didn't, I wouldn't have stayed there for 15 years.
The ballpark, Fenway Park, how much did that contribute or distract from your career?
Well, to be honest and tell you the truth, Fenway Park was a bad ballpark for me. I hit a few cheap home runs over that net, but when I hit the ball to left field, most of them was line drive. And I ended up hitting the fence instead of the ball going into the seats. I think the best tell of my career was the 5 years I played in Milwaukee when I didn't have that left field wall to shoot at.
What do you think about the modern-day player, George? Are you impressed with the skills that they have these days, or would you suggest that perhaps more effort be placed on development of fundamentals in the minor leagues?
No, I'm impressed with the skills. I think the guys that's playing today could play in any era. The only thing that I think have caused the problem in the game is the long-term contracts that have been able to guys to say, well, hey, I don't have to work hard to have a good year because I'm going to get paid for the next 5 years. I think that's the big problem, but I think the guys got outstanding skills. I just don't think they'll mind and taking it to the ballpark is in the game every day.
As I recall, there was a maximum 20% cut that a player could take if he had a bad season operating on the one-year contract. Did you ever have to take a cut during your career?
No, I never had to take a cut, thank God. I tell you, I look at these guys today, and like I say, they hit 230, and they want to get $1 million raise. What's going on here?
George, we appreciate your time. It's great to see you again. You're one of my favorites, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you very much. Always nice to return to Detroit.
George Scott. Duke Sims has just collected a base hit. He's down at first base. The American League trying to come back here against the National League. The National League in front by a score of 4-0. This is Cesar Cedeno batting. For the National League, Fred Sherman, the former Tiger, pitching. Another former Tiger has just joined us down in the dugout, and he was my manager down in spring fantasy camp, Mickey Lolich. Mick, good to see you again. Everything has healed up. You'll be pleased to know that.
Does that mean you're coming back?
I don't know if you're strong enough to stand a return trip on my behalf, but we had a lot of fun, didn't we?
Well, I really, Larry, it was fun having you on the ball club, but you're such a lousy player. I hope you don't come back.
That's not what I've been telling everyone. You're going to blow the whole routine here. Great to see these fellows. You know what? I was looking through the stat sheet here. Mickey Lolich. Now listen to this. You know this already, but some of the viewers may not. and we may not get through this before the final out here, but in 1971, Mickey Lolich had 45 starts. Listen to this, 29 complete games and 376 innings pitched. That is a magnificent season. 125. Will that ever happen again? Not to you, but to anyone.
Well, I doubt it, Larry. I mean, baseball has changed where starting pitchers now go, 6 innings. They hope they can go into the 7th. And back in those days, I used to pitch on 4 days rest, or 3 days rest, really, pitch every 4 days. And I did start about 5 games that year where I pitched on 2 days rest. So, you gotta have a lot of starts to get a lot of innings in like that. And I had the 45 starts, and you just don't see guys making that many starts with the new 5-man rotation. So I doubt if you see guys going out there for 376 innings anymore.
It's an amazing record. You pitched in the big leagues for 16 seasons. Most of them here. You were the Mets in San Diego, and I would imagine the '68 series would probably be the highlight of your career.
Well, actually, Larry, I'm going to have to say no. I know we won the World's Championship, but I won the 3 games in the World Series. But the 1971 season, where I put it together for a full season, is really the thing I'm most proud of.
Well, it was an amazing year. It's fun to see these guys returning. Some of them don't look in real good shape. Have you noticed that?
Well, I don't know. They look fine to me. One thing about me always being a little bit portly when I pitch, when I come to these old-timer games, I still look okay.
I remember when the Tigers went first to the double nits, you were not real happy about that. You kind of liked the baggier type uniform, didn't you? But you look superb. I mean, you really do. Everybody's been talking about it.
Well, I prefer the old flannels. I could bloom those things out over my belt, and I mean, I'd look okay. But the double knits, I tried to talk them into inventing a triple knit, but they didn't have them, so they sort of clung to me a little bit.
We had a little profile view of, look out, ball's headed right at you now. We had a little profile view of George Scott, who seems to be just a little bit out of shape.
Yeah, I think that George has been, having a few too many donuts. He's got to cut back a little.
Donut shop going well for you, my man?
Oh, yeah, still out there in the dough,
We set him up, and he jumped right on it. Number 6 has returned to the booth after showering up, and he's looking in good shape. Al, welcome back. Well, I guess his microphone's not open, so we won't hear from him.
Show up here that they do not want to get hurt, and fortunately I was able to get out of there, and I wasn't going to play originally, but I figured that I could be able to make it now with one hand just as well with 2.
Mickey, are we going to check your slants from the mound this afternoon, or are you just going to hit?
Well, actually, I'm not supposed to go out there and throw. I have developed some nerve damage in the back of my neck and have very little feeling in my left hand, but it's interesting. I don't know if I want to go out there or not. I don't know if I'll even be able to feel a baseball to throw it. But anytime you come back into Tiger Stadium and all the great memories of this park when I played here, it's sort of hard not to walk out onto the middle of that field one more time just to do it.
I think everyone sort of shares that feeling, don't they, Al?
Yeah, really. Everybody that comes back to this ballpark, everybody's saying what a great ballpark it was to play in, and they're all a little sad that down the road they're going to have to replace Tiger Stadium.
But that is progress, and the new park, when it is built, will be wonderful. The side is out, and the National League still holds the advantage. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, it's 4-0. The National League leads the American League. We'll have another former Tiger appearing. It is Mike Marshall, who pitched for the Tigers a number of years ago. Had tremendous success as a member of the Dodgers. Pitched with the Minnesota Twins, the Seattle Pilots.
He could open a sporting goods store with all the teams that he pitched for.
There he is, Cy Young Award winner. He was the first reliever to win the Cy Young Award. That was in '74 with the Dodgers. One of my favorite stories of Mike Marshall, while I was with the Minnesota Twins as a broadcaster, Mike was with Minnesota, and he had the quality screwball. Every pitch that he threw seemed to be the quality screwball. And we were playing in Texas one night, and Buddy Bell hit one straightaway center field. The proverbial broken seat type drive into straightaway center. It was a home run. And after it won the ball game, incidentally. And after the game, we asked Mike what he threw, and he said, I threw him a quality screwball. In his heart, he knows he's out. Willie Horton has joined us on the headset downstairs. Willie, how you doing today?
Just fine, Larry.
You were up there for quite a long time. We got involved in an extensive conversation. We weren't able to analyze the swing, but it still looked pretty good. The results weren't quite the same, though, were they?
Well, different in the years. Take off about 20 of those years, maybe been a little different.
You surprised with the way things have gone with the Tigers this year?
Well, not really. You got a young club just like everybody else in the league, and like now, they right there. I guess they're in first place, and I just hope they don't change their thinking the way they, don't forget how they got there in first place. Don't try to add too much to what they've been doing in the past and will add pressure to themselves.
Willie, have you played in many of these Heroes games this year?
Yeah, this is my third one. And I enjoyed, going out, see all the guys that you had opportunity, you saw in a while, and plus you have opportunity to tell guys that you played against all them years how much you respect playing against them.
Yeah, it was a great party last night, and I know Reggie Jackson gave you a tremendous tribute, which rightfully so. I guess you really took him under your wing when he was a young guy.
Yeah, that's true. I met Reggie, I guess, when he was down in Birmingham in AA ball, and then he came up, and when he first came to Detroit, I took him out to meet Judge Keefe, everybody know that my league advisor for many years, but I think I was there when Reggie needed me, and when he had some problem, I was there. So I'm very happy that he kind of acknowledged that last night. It made me feel very proud.
Well, you're deeply involved now with youngsters as Chief Deputy Director with the Detroit PAL organization. That I know you've been very interested in youngsters all your life, and this must be a terrific thing for you to be involved with as far as satisfying your own needs is concerned.
Well, that's true, Larry. I'm very fortunate that I got appointed by the mayor of the city of Detroit 2 years ago as a chief deputy director of the Police Athletic League. And, like, being around people, that's been Willie Horton life. That's what made my life in baseball. And I'm very fortunate to be put back in that position, that I'm back around people, especially young people. That's our future, their grandkids and their kids. So I'm just happy to be back at home.
Now, Willie, it's great to have you back, and you belong to Detroit. Born and raised here, had a great career with the Tigers. Of course, you won other places, but we lose too many of our heroes, and it's great for you to be back in Detroit.
Well, I left Detroit, but, I'm going to die as a Tiger. They kind of raised me as a young man all the way through my career, and I guess that's one of the reasons I continue having good years out there left here, because down in my heart, I was still playing as a Tiger.
Well, we appreciate your taking the time to chat with us, and we wish you continued success.
Thank you, Larry and Al. And Al, tell Louise I say hello and the grandkids.
I sure will, Boomer.
All right,
take care of yourself.
Bye.
George Mitterwald is going to bat. Speaking of that, Mr. Kaline, I was here early, as a lot of us were today, and I witnessed something that I never thought I'd ever see, and I will pass this along to our viewers because they didn't have the opportunity. But Al was out with his grandson playing a little ball on the warning track. Now, the grandson is what, probably about a year and a half, 2?
Just a little over 2 years old.
All right, and Al's on his knees throwing a little BP for this young fella who ripped one past Al, who failed to pick it off, and that was a little bit of a surprise.
Well, no, that's age. He hit it by me. What is this? Sparky Anderson's coming out. Now, this is
This will be very interesting.
Yes, not very many people in this lifetime has ever seen Sparky Anderson hit.
Well, we're going to put full focus on this, folks.
Yeah, we're going to watch every minute of this.
Reggie's showing him where home plate is.
Yeah, we're going to show him where it is. This is how you stand right here.
Now the infield's coming in, the outfield's coming in. Oh, look at here, that's foul. It's a quality screwball, Mike.
I've never seen Sparky swing, not even in fun, all the years he's been here.
Got a good eye up there, doesn't he? Scott's breaking up over there. Whoa! Did not look good, did it?
No, George Scott thought they were going to take a cruise down the Detroit River, so he wore his balloon underneath his shirt, just in case he fell overboard.
Don't hurt yourself, Spark. Yeah, it's fortunate there is a little force play, and, well, they get the double play now. So the American League is gone. And perhaps the game has ended because the teams are coming out onto the field. This return the salute to the fans. A fun afternoon at Tiger Stadium. They play 3 innings or an hour, whichever comes first, and the 3 innings have been completed.
And this is customary, Larry, that both sides come out on the field and they wave to the fans and thank them for coming out and give them a chance to see some of the legends and heroes of the game that a lot of the young people have probably never seen and maybe never heard of, but really a lot of these guys are responsible for making the game what it is today.
Well, the game has ended. The National League is the winner. We'll be back in just a moment on the Tigers Television Network. Well, Sparky was the man that hit into a double play that ended the ball game. The National League the winner in the upper deck game of heroes here this afternoon. Here's another replay of the play of the afternoon.
Reggie ushered Sparky up the home plate because he hasn't seen home plate in a long time. Pretty good looking stance there, I'm telling you. Not too bad. Kept his hands back. He just, I think he got hit on the end of the bat with the ball, and he grounded to a double play.
Well, it was a fun afternoon. It was really fun to see some of these guys that, you know, you were talking earlier about some of the youngsters now haven't seen these guys play, haven't had an opportunity to even know who they are. And it is interesting to see them come back. And it's interesting to see what they're doing with their lives now. Sometimes guys stay in baseball. Other times they go into other fields of endeavor. Some just flat retire, don't do anything. But to see what they've done with their lives after being in the public eye for so many years, some do very well, others just kind of scrape along, but it's still interesting to see what they're doing.
You know, I think Reggie stated it very well last night. You know, Reggie was in business when he quit baseball. He was in the car business and land and a lot of different things, and Reggie said he found out very quickly that his heart was still in baseball, and he said, I have to get back into something I know and be surrounded by friends and people that I know and then I can understand. And I think that's the case pretty much with all ball players. That, you know, you put your heart into the game of baseball at a very early age. You practice and practice, and you're fortunate enough after many years to make the major leagues. If you're fortunate enough to go on and play and have a good career, that's great. Then all of a sudden, in a lot of cases, it stops, and it's very hard on a lot of people because all through your teens and your maturing years, you work so hard to play baseball, and then all of a sudden it's over.
There are those, of course, who go on into business, self-employed or working in industry or many other fields of endeavor. But there are also those that don't quite get it done. And that's really part of what the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball is all about, to help supplement that through bat and help these guys that are having problems.
That's right. You know, a lot of us, you know, we don't need to go out there and embarrass ourselves. You know, we know we can't play anymore, but deep down inside of us, we know that it's for a great cause, and to allow former players, widows, umpires, executives in baseball to help live out the rest of their lives in some kind of dignity. This is what we do it for, because we try to raise funds other ways, but through Upper Deck, they allow us to play a heroes game in every town. They contribute $10,000 a game to the bat organization to help players, widows, umpires, and so on, at least lead a dignified life the rest of their lives.
Well, as has been stated, this game has come to a close. We've got a big one coming up. We also have the pregame show coming up, so we invite you to stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment on the Tigers Television Network.